There were star performances all over the field on Wednesday night for the final Battle Series game, Game 3. It was the most entertaining Battle Series game of the year. It was the most entertaining game of the entire fall all year long. So the Sooners ended it in style with a walk-off hit. Big home run slate to make that a very fascinating game. But a 5-4 softball game to end the Battle Series. It was great. But I got my three stars, three biggest stars from Game 3 of the Battle Series. And as always, who do you got as your top three? Who was the biggest star? Drop yours into the comments. I want to see how you guys are feeling and what you're thinking coming out of Battle Series game number 3. Real quick, I always got to give it up to the fans because the OU softball fans, second to none, best in the country, not just best in softball, but one of the best in all of sports. Program record 6,463 fans over 6 home dates throughout the fall. You guys are insane. You are incredible. You show up no matter the weather, no matter the opponent, no matter the season. It does not matter. Just under 6,500 for 6 home dates this fall. Incredible. All right, so here are my 3 biggest stars, and I do have them ordered 1, 2, 3. Let's start at the top. Number 1, the biggest star on Wednesday night, I've got Ailana Agbayani. Just sensational. 3 for 4, 3 hits, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs. She had the walk-off fielder's choice as well. Every at-bat was productive. Every at-bat was extremely productive. And I believe that this is the first time, or maybe the second time at most, where Agbayani has been on, kind of one of my post-game 3 stars list. Maybe I've been a little bit too biased towards the home run. I can raise my hand on that. A little bit too biased towards the home run this fall, though there's been a lot of home runs and a lot of incredible players who have hit moonshots this year. Agbayani didn't hit a home run this fall, but yet she was still one of the best players that Oklahoma had game in and game out, and she showed it again. The 3 for 4 stat line is nothing new. In fact, 3 for 4 is, it's kind of a normal stat line for Ailana Agbayani. She's been exceptional all fall. I don't say this with just anybody. I think she has a real chance to be looked at as one of the elite players in all of college softball this year. She's absolutely a starter, a middle infield starter. She's probably going to bat leadoff this year. I don't say it lightly, but I think she has a real chance to be an elite player and one of the better hitters in the SEC and one of the better hitters in the SEC in terms of batting average. Don't be surprised whatsoever if Agbayani at the end of the year is in the top 5 or maybe even the top 3 of batting average. She was fantastic on Wednesday night. 3 for 4, that's nothing new. That's just an average Ailana Agbayani stat line. She doesn't strike out. She gets on base. She scores runs. She does everything that you want a hitter in the top of the order to do. And she's fantastic defensively as well. Cannot say enough nice things about Agbayani, and just an incredible portal get from BYU. What she looked like last year when she really kind of dominated Oklahoma in that series in Norman, she looks like that version of a player every single time she's come out for the fall in a game this fall. She's been great. Number 2 for me, the second biggest star from Wednesday night Battle Series Game 3, Nelly. You guys know I love me some Nelly. Nelly McEnroe Marinas, 3 for 5. A double and an RBI for Nelly. Just so good. So good. Nelly is your starting third baseman this year. I think, she's going to be there every single game. I think she did a fantastic job of locking that position down in the fall. Huge expectations for her. You guys heard me talk before fall ball even started. That was my pick to click, not only during the fall, but in the season as well. Feeling good about that. Feeling very, very good about that. Nelly being a starter, hitting somewhere in the middle of the order. I've got high expectations for her, and I had high expectations for her heading into the fall, and I think she exceeded even my high expectations. Great glove, great bat, just a beautiful swing. One of the more prettier swings in this order. So much power behind that swing as well. 3 for 5, double and an RBI. She hits the ball hard. She gets hits consistently. There's just a lot to like there from Nelly McEnroe Marinas. And we saw it once again. It's been consistent. Like people who are at the games, I talk to them, and consistently they say that Nelly's one of the best players out there. And if you go look at the numbers and what she's done over the course of the past month and a half or so, easy to see why Nelly has become, one of the favorite players on this team by the fan base. Great personality as well. Can't wait to see her in 2025. Number 3 on this list. I don't know if this is going to surprise anyone, but I want to give Paytn Monticelli a lot of credit. 3 innings pitched. She was actually one of the starters on Wednesday night. 1 run allowed in the 3 hits. Now, Paytn Monticelli didn't go 3 innings and allow zero hits and strike out 5, 6, or anything crazy like that. Paytn Monticelli actually allowed base runners. She allowed base runners in the first inning. She allowed base runners in the second and the third inning as well. In fact, there were runners on the corners in the first inning. There were, several runners on base in the second inning. But even with that, she gets out of those jams with just one run allowed. I think that Paytn Monticelli is going to be a reliever this year. If I had to guess right now, and we got a long ways to go until opening day, I think that we're going to be talking mostly about Paytn Monticelli coming out of the bullpen. Well, what's going to happen for Paytn Monticelli when she comes in out of the bullpen? There will be runners on base, and there may be a runner in scoring position. There may be multiple runners in scoring position when Paytn Monticelli gets in the game. And I felt like maybe that's when she was at her best on Wednesday night. Runners on first and second, or runners on first and third, and she always did a good job of those spots of getting out of an inning without, a crooked number being put on. Like, let's remember here, that wasn't a non-OU opponent. That was an OU team and an OU offense she was going up against with a lot of talent up and down the order. So, sure, she let up some base runners, but she also pitched 3 innings against one of the better offenses that you're going to see in all of college softball this year, and she just gave up the 1 run. It doesn't change my mind necessarily on what her role is going to be this year, but the fact that she came up so clutch, like she did, because remember, the biggest outs of her entire career was last year in the Women's College World Series, Game 2. She comes in, gets that 1 out, and I was hoping going into the offseason that really kind of propels her forward. She gets all this confidence. She's ready to step up and be the best version of herself. I thought Paytn Monticelli looked really good on Wednesday night, and hopefully there's more of that to come. But against a great lineup, she only allowed the 1 run, and I think that you'll take that every single time with the hitters that she was facing. Paytn Monticelli, my 3rd biggest star. Bit of a surprise, I know. Just wanted to give a tip of the cap to Paytn Monticelli and the great job that I thought that she did on Wednesday night. Now, a bit of an honorable mention here. And look, I could have put Sam Landry in over Paytn Monticelli or any other pitcher. I could have. She 4 innings pitched, 0 runs allowed, but it's not surprising, right? Like, I'm growing a little bit spoiled already on Sam Landry, and I just expect her, no matter the opponent now, that she just goes up there and throws 0. So she didn't make it in my top 3. She's made it in my top 3, I feel like, a few times before. I wanted to give a tip of the cap to Paytn Monticelli, but let's also acknowledge Sam Landry as well. 4 innings, and the same things that I just said about Monticelli, Sam Landry's going up against elite hitters. She went up against Ella Parker on Wednesday night. 4 innings, 0 runs allowed. I don't know what else you need to see. If you need to see it once the season happens, that's fine. That's ultimately how she's going to be judged. But I think I've seen everything that I need to see from Sam Landry to feel confident to say, well, okay, she's going to be the ace of the staff, but maybe let's have conversations about her being one of the best pitchers in the SEC. Yes, she's got to prove it. I get it. It was just the fall, but she showed that she has all the signs, and I mean all the signs, of being a terrific pitcher and maybe a pitcher that can lead this team to a national championship. Drop yours in the comments. What impressed you the most over Battle Series Game 3? We'll have a live show coming up on Sunday night where I'll give away some awards for the entirety of the fall. That should be a really good time. But as always, appreciate you watching and enjoy the weekend.